Greetings, welcome to a Deckard Games YouTube thing, I guess. Fighting games, yeah, why not? Fighting games. You know, fighting games were never a PC thing. When I think of my PC games, I always remember of my adventure games and the first-person shooters, strategy games. And it kind of makes sense because it's way easier to play a fighting game using a proper gamepad than a mouse and keyboard. Still, there were a few that were exclusive to the PC, and I particularly remember playing one back in the day, so let's talk about that one game. But to do that, we have to travel all the way to the year 2097.
One must fall 2000. Crap. One must stand 2097. Developed by Diversion Entertainment and published by Epic Mega Games in 1994 for the IBM PC and compatibles, it is a fighting game with robots. Fighting robots. What more could a 13-year-old boy need? And this is One Must Fall 2097 with its ultra-smooth realistic 3D fighting action, oh yes. It is software of the future, today, not tomorrow, but today. And in this case, it's not false advertisement because this is indeed from the year 2097. It lets you know that if you enjoyed Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat, then welcome to the next level in play and technology. One Must Fall 2097 for IBM PCs and compatibles. And at the back, not much, but a clear message. 2 will enter, 1 must fall, which absolutely goes with the title of the game. And in case you're wondering if this is indeed a PC game, because no, that's a Super Nintendo box, no. Here we have a Super Nintendo game, in the case Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and it's exactly the same size of box, same form factor. In fact, I'm using a Super Nintendo box protector, but believe me, this is indeed a PC game and an exclusive one, so let's take a look at One Must Fall. And inside the box we get a collecting card that I would absolutely collect more if I had them, but it's a cool addition to the game. We get a magnificent poster with 2 robots going at it that you could hang in your teen bedroom, which I think it's awesome. And we have the game itself, or in this case the shareware version of the game, into 3.5 floppy disks. So let's play some One Must Fall. And One Must Fall 2097 starts off with lightning and an epic Mega Games logo, which is very epic indeed. And more lightning, letting you know that it's developed by Diversion Entertainment. And even more lightning, man, what a thunderstorm, engraving the 2097 on the game's logo, letting you know that it takes place in 2097. Oh yeah, what a manly way to start the game. And at the main menu are lots and lots of main options. One-player game to go directly into a series of fights. Two-player mode to go one-on-one with another human being. That is, if you can find one, since everything nowadays is just online. Tournament play to play the campaign tournament, which absolutely makes sense. Configuration, where one can configure different aspects of the game. Gameplay to tweak the way you want the game to play. Ordering info to purchase the complete version of the game. Help for those who are weak and need help playing the game. And it lets you know that if you are scared of oversized robots that want to kill you, you should go straight to the exit option. Demo, where you can speak with the devil. No, it's just a demonstration of the game, yeah, that's it. A magnificent scoreboard to keep track of the best scores in the game, and a very helpful quit option to game quitting. The plot to One Must Fall 2097 is one where the World Aeronautics and Robotics, or WAR, rules the world due to its technology that led mankind to space exploration. And apparently this is possible because of human-controlled robots. Don't ask me why, it just is. The race to colonize Jupiter's moons, Ganymede, is on. And apparently the way to decide which one is the best choice for the job is to organize a deadly tournament where the only survivor will be up to the task. One Must Fall 2097 is not your typical fighting game. Instead of choosing your fighter, you begin by choosing your pilot, the person who will be behind the controls of your giant death machine. And each pilot has 3 different types of attributes: power, agility, and endurance. This screen, along with others that we'll get to, always reminds me of anime and manga, with cool hand-drawn characters with lively colors and a short background story. And the next step is of course to choose your human assistant robot. And we have the digitized graphics that were used in lots of games at that time: large robots, slim robots, robots with wings, with wheels and blades. There's a few that look really cool, when others look kind of generic. Of course, you've got to pick a cool one. A robot that looks menacing and ready to kill not only other robots, but mankind also. With the exception of the pilot, of course, that would be great. Each robot has his unique set of skills and abilities, so the approach to the fight is different depending on the robot that you choose. Joking aside, this is where One Must Fall begins to differ from other fighters. The choosing of the pilot and the human assistant robot is critical. Different combinations result in a different fighting style. For example, you can choose a fast pilot that can move even the heaviest robots pretty quickly, but if the endurance is low, you will suffer with every hit you take. On the other hand, if you go with a not-so-quick pilot, but with one that has lots of endurance, allowing him to take several hits, you will struggle to inflict damage to your opponent. This may lead one to think that the most obvious choice is to pick the most balanced pilot, but this is not as simple as it seems. Choosing your robot is no different. Each robot has their own strengths and weaknesses, while all of them have unique special moves to devastate the enemy during the fight. It all comes down to your fighting style. You like an aggressive approach and take your chances, or being able to take some hits while patiently waiting for the opportunity to deal some real damage to your opponent? You prefer heavy robots that inflict lots of damage, or robots with abilities like stopping time? As an experience, the gameplay is more centered in the way you want to approach the game, and not as a typical fighter. After choosing the pilot and your human-assisted robot, a pre-fight screen is shown where the two pilots confront each other, along with some good old trash talk. I'm gonna clean the floor with you and then use your robot as a vacuum cleaner. You can also see in the background some dudes working on the robots, and I always found this hilarious because they are just kind of standing there, but it's the only way to get some insight on the size of the machines when compared to humans. Into the fight itself, we have our digitized robots fighting each other in various arenas, and during the fight is where you don't really get the feeling of using giant robots. Everything is up to scale. It's a shame that these don't take place in areas with regular-sized things in the background. In One Must Fall 2097 you have an assortment of moves to pull off, but one thing that I clearly remember coming as a surprise back in the day was the inclusion of 3 different strengths for punches and kicks like Capcom used to do. Although the controls can feel a little stiff from time to time, for most of that time they feel kind of fluid, and you can kind of get the feel that you are in control of a fighting robot and not doing the fight yourself. I don't know if this was intended or a pure randomness, but the truth is that it works. There are also other ways of hurting your opponent. The majority of the arenas have different hazards to avoid or to draw your opponent to, like electric fields, spikes, and saws that leave the enemy at the mercy of a full-on combo attack. There are also secrets to be discovered throughout the game, like finishing moves or hidden characters like the human assistant robot, Fire and Ice, and even a cameo of Jazz Jack Rabbit. The main option and challenge to the game is the tournament play. Here you start as the underdog. You begin by choosing a pilot. That doesn't really make any difference. This is just for choosing your avatar, because the stats are all the same and very low. Then you choose your robot, where again makes no difference whatsoever because you are going to start with a weak one. This is where once again the game deviates from your typical fighting game and, at least in my opinion, has some RPG-ish elements to it. You start with very low stats and have to make your way up on the robot fighting ladder. The player starts by fighting in less important tournaments. In the rookie trails, the robot is weak and the piloting skills are quite poor. As some fights are won, the player is rewarded with new skills and of course money that can be spent either by upgrading your robot or purchase new ones while climbing to the top of the major leagues. Let's address the sound quality, which is, in one word, great. The music is just awesome with some techno and electronic tunes that give you that industrial feeling and goes well with the fighting robots theme. The music in the main menu is an absolute masterpiece. Just listen to this. The sound effects are not in the same level of the music. They are okay. In fact, there isn't a ton of sound effects. I wish for more powerful metal on metal sounds, but still, they suit the gameplay. So is One Must Fall 2097 worth playing in 2019? Or in the past, I guess? The short answer is yes. I believe the game didn't have too much attention because it was a PC exclusive, meaning no ports to consoles and whatnot. The game did quite a few things different than other fighting games. It's giant robots fighting each other, a premise that was never really explored by the gaming industry. One Must Fall 2097 still stands as a different game until today, so if you like PC things, grab the game because it's free nowadays and enjoy this wonderful PC exclusive. And if you enjoy One Must Fall and you also enjoy this video, consider subscribing to the channel because I cover lots of different things in various platforms. You can also follow me around on Twitter and Facebook because why not? And as always, thank you very much for watching this. Until my next video, take care.